So friends, another thing here we have a palm of hand, and actually it's kinda ready, but also you can add some extra details over color you've done with really small needles, like light spots here near the nails. And it's better to do them in one line and not to return again and not to swipe from side to side and do that in one line in one attempt, and this is really hard without returning back. So this thing will heal not as well as on empty skin, because that color will be really look good on empty skin, but also you have a layer of another color, so it won't be that clear as on empty skin. So, but also you can see that when it's healed. Sometimes you think that you've done everything, but then you wipe and you understand that you have to add something extra after it. So don't be shy to add any extra details after you think everything is done. Also, I'd better add them here. Oh, looks good. Little details. Also, I wanted to show you another thing. When I was, at the very beginning of making pt2, I wanted to understand how other people color and how do they do that. For how much time do they color, 1 centimeter, for example, of skin. So I wanted to understand how my pt2 gun ink machine is actually react on the skin. So I color some things on the skin, and I want to do that monotonous without any kind of speed ups and everything. I wanted to show you how quick I do that, and really show you how quick is that. Is a little quicker than average speed. So if your color is really longer, so something wrong with your ink gun. So one reason it can be actually your ink gun or probably needles, but that is only for those who know what they can use to paint and what not. Some people just can take any kind of, tattoo guns that actually just scratch the skin and don't actually put that color, that paint under it. So that is better to do that coloring in one line, not doing that again and again and again and again. So some colors, they're really thin and they're some really transparent, and actually you need to work with them differently. So with some of them you really need to repeat that again and again and again. And with others, you can just do that in one line without any kind of difficulties. So that is really spoiled when you really, do that a lot of time with blood and everything without the color. So you have to understand it while wiping. But when you really work with only one color, you can understand how to move your arm with which speed and how to move your arm accurately, to color it really good. But also this effect will be vanished when I add some green here. Here you can see that fabric here, so that blue color will be actually better with green merging. So my amplitude, if I do just a line with the magnum, so it's like 1.5, take a half from here to here. Just sorry for the camera defocus, that is just problems with new camera, so I cannot actually work with it well. So you have to paint it just less than the center. You actually can put on other layers, so that is not a problem, but also you have to do that on average, so you don't need to color one layer more than others so that it will be really visible. So you don't have to do that. This merge, edges, so not to do them, you can see that how I do that. That is not actually slow, not actually quick, you know, average speed. I wanted to tell you about the, you know, the amount of color I actually take from the tips. I want to show you some tips if I just like here. So if you don't actually turn off your pt2 gun, you can just, you know, take like that, not more, not less. And you don't have to take more because you will have to wipe much more than you do usually. So I have to color that paint that I really, it will be enough of one taking of the color to color it. When I know that I, you know, touch the previous layer of color, I try not to push that as hard as before and not to, you know, stretch the skin as well as I did before. So like that spot I will paint with this attempt of color I took. So another moment here, I don't have to actually be greedy with that color. It won't be less, it won't be extra, so you can just do that. It's really easier to put as much color as you need for the one attempt you do. If you really take more than is needed, you actually, you know, it will escape much more than you have to. So actually you should take as much color as you need, as you think is needed. So not to be spoiled as well as I showed you. So don't be afraid of it. Another stupid jokes from girl. Okay, friends, we have another problem here. Skin is really spoiled. So I can actually wipe it, and it takes other colors, and so that belly here became like pretty bright blue, but we didn't have to do that as much as it. But actually it will clear after 2 takes of shower, you know, and it will be the same color as it should be. So every color is actually merged and mixed. Every layer, every tint was mixed with another one. So when I wipe it from red to green, it's like dirty brown, but it will be really clean. I don't want to take a picture of it right now. I'd better take it from, you know, maybe in 2-3 days while it's actually cleared. So actually I'd like to wipe it after it to show you. So another moment here, I'd like to explain you that little dirty bastard Stich. Okay, on the head he has white spots on this brush, so we don't need to add them there, because we will use those light spots on the nose, on eyes, and on nails. I add them because they're not on the picture, but I add them to look more detailed. So I don't need to, you know, add that color to those empty spots. So I'd probably leave them empty, or I'll do that with really bright gray, not to have that tint as nails and every light spot there. So I decided to tint their spots. I don't want them to look unfinished, so I did the yellow background because I want to something really look, you know, warm, because the whole picture is actually cold, so I want it to be warmer. how I'd like to wash it up. So it's not presentable for the camera because I really want to do that not fucked up as well as it is. So I wipe it as well with a soap. And if it won't help, you cannot actually do that now because skin is actually spoiled and dried somewhere. I try to use any kind of soaps and foams, but actually they don't do anything as well as. So if you know, if your skin is actually spoiled easy, so actually nothing can help you. So it's much better to do that while, you know, some takes of bathrooms. So friends, I'm kind of happy that everything not as I wanted to. So I showed you some other works that it looks really smoother, but that time I cannot do that. But I hope you got anything really useful, and this video was really... I'll put the link on this girl here in the bottom, if you are interested in. Write her down if you're interested. So if you're interested to look how that work will look while it's healed, you can take a look on Instagram. So another work, another version of this work that is there, that is a Batman. It's kind of pair of brainstorm. Okay, slap her again and we'll finish that.